Well, we're now officially in that time of season where I have to wear these shirts again. It's funny. I was actually going to hold out until like January 1st to start wearing these shirts again. But my mother, being the ever worrisome person about me that she is, insisted that I start wearing these as soon as possible. I'm going to be seeing her again later today, so this will be a nice, pleasant surprise. If everything works well enough, it could wind up being my act of kindness. Who knows? But that's not my act of kindness for today. My act of kindness for today was I actually had to run a couple errands for my grandmother yesterday. Did some dry cleaning. Ran up to do some dry cleaning for her, or brought her close to the dry cleaners. Did that. I got her the morning paper. It's weird. There's this one paper in my area called the Star Gazette, and more often than not, like, it's harder to find than the other local paper, which is the Leader. Yeah, see, the Leader is the newspaper of Corning, but the Star Gazette is more all the Twin Tiers, specifically like Elmira, New York, kind of, where I am. So it's, well, here's the thing. Both papers, for the most part, talk about the same thing. In fact, recently we've been noticing a trend that both papers are using, like, the exact same photos to, like, sort of label what their stories are, I guess. But then again, I think both papers are owned by, like, the same people, so I don't know. But that was my act of kindness. My low yesterday, really, man, that's hard. Because after doing yesterday's video and reading chapter 999, which, if you didn't see yesterday's video, check it out, but was probably, in some ways, the biggest chapter of this year. I mean, I'm sure, like, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Brand Line Review did, like, a ranking of, like, all of the top 10 best chapters of 2020. I mean, in spite of the year that we've had and the fact that there were a lot of breaks, there were quite a few really good chapters. Like, whether you want to include the ones from the flashback or not. The Odin flashback. So, I guess my low is I am coming to the realization that maybe I guess I did want to do a chapter reaction of chapter 1000 on my birthday. But, you know, it's just one of those things where you can't really help what happens. But, you know, hopefully chapter 1000 will really live up to the hype. And when I do the State of My Being address, I'll include that manga chapter reaction in that video. So, that'll be fun, right? So yeah, I guess my low is, you know, that was the last manga chapter of 2020. And it's likely that unless a miracle happens, a post-Christmas miracle happens, like, chapter 1000 is not coming in 2020. Oh, well. So I guess my high, well, I guess my high is that, you know, normally, well, actually, you know what? I can say what my high is right away. My high is the fact that, you know, even though my low was, again, you have chapter 99 this year, and we're not going to get chapter 1000 on my birthday, I can still say I wrote a really good chapter. And I think my reaction in yesterday's video says it all. Not to mention, I got to educate you on some Japanese mythology. That's got to be cool, right? So, yeah, that was a pretty good day all around. So, with that said, good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. Nothing really major to report other than I'm pretty sure I was right about who won the game last night. Hold on a second. I actually have to look this up. NFL schedule. Yep. Oh, I wound up being wrong. The Bengals actually won yesterday. Come to think of it. Let me look at the playoff section. That does remind me. I do need to. I actually do need to think about what. Because last year I did a video on the top 11 Super Bowl matchups I want to see. I think I'm gonna have to do that again, but of course I'm gonna do that again because last time I did, I actually had a blast doing that video. But where are the playoff settings? All right. All right. Can I actually see a ranking, please? This is okay. Here we go. So, all right. That's the eliminated teams. I already knew that. Okay, so it would appear as if hold on. Hold on. I think those are the tie-breaking procedures. Okay, that doesn't work either. I'm trying to see if Buffalo's the 2 seed now, is what I'm trying to look up. Because both Buffalo and Pittsburgh, as of last night, have the same record, but Buffalo beat Pittsburgh. I really do think that the Bills are now the 2 seed. I don't think they're going to catch up to Kansas City, mind you. But, yeah. Hold on. It's difficult to say. I'm sure it'll work itself out. Although, if Buffalo just wins their next 2 games, I'm pretty sure they take the 2 seed. So, yeah, the Patriots and the Dolphins. It'll definitely be an interesting matchup, to say the least. Sorry that took so long, folks. I was trying to see if I can find a really good setting, like a playoff list as to who's seeded where. Because right now, the 2 1 seeds in the NFC and the AFC are Green Bay and Kansas City, respectively. And I'm an inquiring mind. I want to know who the 2 seeds are. It looks like in the NFC it's the Saints. And for the AFC, it's either going to be the Steelers or the Bills. I would love for it to be the Bills. That would just be so awesome. I mean, it could still happen. I mean, it is possible that, well, no, even if the Chiefs lost their next 2 games, and Buffalo won them, pretty sure that the Chiefs beat the Bills during the regular season, so they'd be number 1. All right. I think that's how it works. I don't know. But, yeah. I really do need to think of a top 11 Super Bowl matchups I want to see. Because that definitely, I mean, luckily some of the matchups are the same as last year, believe it or not. But then there's definitely going to be a few different ones. I'll definitely need to really retool what exactly I'm going to be. I'm going to be like listing these top 11, and I'll explain why I go top 11 on that fateful day. In terms of what my plans are today, nothing really spectacular. I mean, I am going to be seeing my mom and dad later today. Oh, right, I forgot to say, did I say? I mentioned that my father had to go to the hospital, and I never did tell if he got out like the next day. They just watched him overnight. You know, pretty much all he has to is to be on his blood thinner for a while, or possibly the rest of his life. I don't know, but you know, the point is my father's okay. That's really awesome. You know, that definitely takes a load off. Definitely something good involving this holiday season that I needed to hear. And yeah, it's really about it from that standpoint. Anything else I can think of? Not particularly. I mean, it's just so bizarre that this year is just winding down. Like, it just amazes me how, like, on January 1st, 2020, I remember doing that video with just such optimism. And at first things seemed okay. And then we get to March. And things just kept falling downhill from there. Do I wish? Well, pretty obvious. Of course, I wish this year was different for not just me, but for everybody else. But it's for the best in some ways. It really, years like this are the kind of years where, and I've said this before, like, don't fret about what you could have had, because you probably wound up having a lot more to be. You probably had a lot more in your life than you realized. I mean, I wound up starting this year with 2 New Year's resolutions. The first was pretty obvious. You know, I'm a big boy, and I don't really drink that often, but I wouldn't mind, you know, experimenting with that sort of thing a little bit more, or doing that sort of thing a little bit more. That would have been nice. But, you know, because of, you know, global events, that wound up really not being the case. Thankfully, though, the other New Year's resolution was I was going to be there for my family more. And I really wound up doing that. So, that's nice. I mean, I kind of wish... I mean, if I were to redo this year, and let's say that COVID wasn't a thing, I would say be with my family for as much as I was this year. And obviously increase that first New Year's resolution by about, well, I would jokingly say like 1,000%, but I'm pretty sure that would just be crazy over drinking, and I don't want to do that. So, I would say moderately increase that first one, because remember, even though I know for a fact I can be very responsible, and, you know, after years and years and years of being scared away from drinking, maybe I can, you know, handle myself a lot more. Because here's the thing, I don't drink because, well, one of the main reasons why is because, let's be honest, alcohol really doesn't taste as great as people think it is. But more importantly, like, when I was little, I was scared straight into not doing it. Like, you're going to get in trouble, you know, DUIs, you know, jail, all that stuff. And because of drinking, that happens. But I like to think that now I'm definitely responsible enough to not let that happen. Although, again, if I ever did, I would be responsible. And, yeah. Maybe in the coming days, something great will happen. I don't know. And also, again, with the Masked Singer being over and not really a lot going on other than, Christmas special after Christmas special, it's going to be kind of a slow week. At least up until we get to, Wednesday evening. Maybe after tonight. I don't know. Have to play that by ear. Like, favorite, share, the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms using YouTube. I am very humble in this video. I almost did the lend your ear thing first, but wow. That's another thing. I really am tired too. I got out of bed super duper late this morning. Anyway, like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms using YouTube. I am very humble in this video for all of you guys watching today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember that you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. Always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.